trying to look into this, but the whole scandal has also been that, from there's the public health authority at one point said that, no, there is nothing strange about this. This is normal that you have this amount of babies born with deformities, while you have then other scientists saying that, no, this is like tens of times higher numbers than normal.
And also there was the director of this health agency. She was fired because she was the whistleblower. And now now she's not being fired anymore. It's being cancelled. But of course, there's a lot of criticism that, that the government is trying to cover up something, of course.
Exactly. And that they both been trying to cover up, and then they've not been trying to go, to the bottom of these stories. Because of course, what do we know? What is the reason behind this? Well, for now, we don't know at all. But what they have excluded so far when they have been interviewing the mothers of these children is that it's not due to any drugs or drug abuse or alcohol abuse, which could be a reason for this kind of syndrome. But what they do know is that all these families and these women, while they were pregnant, lived in a very rural area. And we do know that pesticides are being used in a lot of the French agriculture. And of course, that is one of the fears that the scientists and the families, of course, have, that, this would be the result of something coming from the outside.
Yeah, of course. But that needs, of course, very thorough scientific research. It could also be that it's just bad luck. That's what the government said in the beginning.
In the beginning, of course.
Yeah.
It could be. But I mean, in any case, this is the kind of story that needs a thorough investigation. I think that most people would agree on that.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And no matter what what comes out of the investigation, it's important to try to find out if there is something from the outside that is the reason for this.
Yeah, and the French government was really reluctant in the beginning, but there was of course a lot of media attention. People got angry, so now there will be a scientific investigation, which will probably take about 6 months. So in the summer of next year, we will know what's causing.
I think we'll exactly already after Christmas somewhere we could see the first results of this. Even though it will of course take a long time to get the full report on what's going on. But it doesn't look good. The French authorities, health authorities, has taken a bit of a hit during this story, because it really didn't look good when they were trying to sort of cover up. And
this is not the first time that these French health authorities are under criticism, because the last couple of years there have been some scandals, and every time the French health authorities were not really acting as they should have. So it's part of a long history of bad reputation cases. But it's a very of course very tragic story for the people who are hit by this strange phenomenon. So within the next couple of months we will learn what has been happening here in these areas. Maybe you remember a couple of weeks ago we talked about a new memorabilia shop, or actually two. The Élysée, the presidential palace, announced it was launching a souvenir shop to raise funds to renovate and maintain the aging French presidential palace. You could buy mugs with Macron and Brigitte and all kinds of
president. What else did it say? It was made in France.
Yeah,
and all of that.
And red, blue, white, and red things, and very fancy, pretty expensive as well.
Yeah, and at the same time, another shop was launched.
Funnier.
You must say funnier. Yeah, we did talk about that too. It's called the Élysée, and less Macron flattering, I think we could say. This parody shop sells cups and T-shirts and other stuff, of course, but it's using infamous quotes from Mr. Macron, who is known as the franc-parleur, or the straight-talking president. Some of them, of course, is je coûte un pognon de dingue, which is sort of been
pognon de dang, a crazy amount of cash. Crossing the street, we talked about that as well. And he spoke to an unemployed young gardener who said that he didn't find a job. And then Macron said, well, if I cross the street, I will find you a job immediately. So that's on the t-shirt as well. And actually, it became more of a joke because this shop is actually quite successful.
It is. It works really well. They have 3,000 online commands have been made, and they made 30,000 euros.
Not bad.
That's the benefit so far.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all. And this shop also is in for a good cause. The money will be given to 3 charities working with migrants and homeless people.
That's nice.
Yeah. So, well...
It's not as quite as popular as the original official Elysee store, though. They had in a couple of days already over 300,000 of euros of goods sold. But so this is actually a joke that turned into a charity, and of course the charities are very, very happy with that. And the shop says that they are dreaming that one day Emmanuel Macron will become their godfather of the store.
Do you think we will see him with one of their T-shirts?
Yeah, but so you can order funny stuff. It's the address is enlyseboutique.fr with parodies on the products of the official store of the Elysee. But we'll put the link on our website, sofrench.news. Well, Sarah, do you remember this speech of Emmanuel Macron?
We will succeed because we are fully committed. Because wherever we live, whoever we are, we all share the same responsibility. Make our planet great again. Thank you.
Yeah. Of course. How could I not remember the French president, just newly elected, actually, promising to make our planet great again.
Yeah, it was, of course, a reaction to Donald Trump's withdrawal of the Paris agreements. And indeed, it was the 1st of June, 2017. So he was only like 3 weeks a president. And he immediately became a worldwide phenomenon because he took the leadership in the fight against climate change. There was even a website launched, makeourplanetgreatagain.fr. Well, that was 1.5 years ago. Very nice stunt, but more words than action, unfortunately.
Yes, because, Macron then took over after François Hollande, who was the one who was the president when the famous Paris Accords were signed, the COP21 Accords signed here in France. 197.
You were there.
I was there. It was a very historic moment, and I very well remember the signature of the Accords. So it was a big moment for the world, I think, and for everyone involved and trying to save this planet. 197 countries signing this agreement. It has since then been a withdrawal by the US, of course. But now, a couple of years later, doesn't look like countries are very much living up to these accords. According to the World Resources Institute, very few, actually, of the signatories of these accords actually have adopted policies that will allow them to cut carbon emissions as necessary to actually limit the rise of temperatures to 2 degrees, but hopefully 1.5 degrees. Among them, these countries that are living up to or have adopted some kind of policies are Norway, which is, I think we can...
Strange, because they're earning a lot of money with oil.
And if we're talking about trying to phase out the fossil fuels, I don't know if Norway is the best one. But anyways, apparently...
I had lunch with the Norwegian ambassador a couple of weeks ago, and I pointed this out, and he said, but we're using this money to make the planet... greener, and he didn't really grasp the irony of it. But indeed. But Norway is on the list. Yeah.
Montenegro is on the list. Macedonia, Canada, Costa Rica, Japan. Yeah. Apparently, a bunch of countries. 16, not that many though.
Yeah.
But none of the European Union countries.
Incredible.
And then not France.
No. So the country of Mr. Make This Planet Great Again is not even living up to its promises. I
think the environment policies has been, the issue of the environment has been a tricky one for Emmanuel Macron. We remember the exit of the Nicolas Hulot, the former environment minister.
Because he was angry that it was going too slowly
exactly.
and that the lobbyists had too much access. Yeah. And, but it's very difficult. I mean, these days there's a lot of anger in France about the rise of the gas for cars, and there will be a big demonstration in a couple of weeks, I think. People driving diesel cars and polluting the planet. So it is pretty difficult to do something. And even after this extreme summer, we've had a lot of rainfall in the last couple of weeks, floodings, even deadly victims. It doesn't really work to do something about climate change, but France is not alone. 181 countries out of the 197 do not respect the Paris Agreement. So bad news for
France and bad news for the world,
the planet. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, that wraps up this edition of So French. We hope you have enjoyed it. Please follow us on Twitter. It's @SoFrenchNews. And you can listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and on YouTube.
And don't forget to rate us on iTunes. Please leave a review. That way more people will find us. And if you happen to be in Paris, you can listen to us on air on World Radio Paris. But watch out, we've changed the airtime. As per this week, we're there every 2 weeks on Monday at 12:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. and reruns on Wednesday and Friday at 5 p.m.
And if you like French music, check out our free playlist on Spotify, which we update regularly. Just search for So French Music or click the link on our website.
We'll be back in 2 weeks with a new episode of So French.
Hope you will join us then. Thank you for listening. Au revoir.